Have you noticed how some children seem to be living in their own world, struggling to focus, learn, and even control their own energy? What if I told you that the key to transforming all of this, from attention to academic performance, is not found in medications or complicated methods, but in something that most schools and families are completely ignoring? Movement. That's right. Physical exercise in childhood is not just about burning energy. It literally shapes the brain, activates areas responsible for memory, focus, and learning, and boosts emotional development. In this video, you'll discover what science reveals about the direct link between movement and brain plasticity in children. And more importantly, you'll learn how to apply this in practice with simple activities you can use at home or at school. If you're a parent, teacher, or caregiver, and you want to help children develop with more health, concentration, and joy, stick around until the end, because this could completely change the way you understand the body's potential in learning. We live in a reality where childhood sedentary behavior has become the rule, not the exception. Children spend over 6 hours a day sitting, between classes, homework, and screen time. And the effects go far beyond the body. The brain suffers too. Recent data shows a worrying increase in cases of attention deficits, reading difficulties, and even childhood anxiety disorders. The child's body was designed to move, explore, test physical limits, while the brain, in parallel, builds new connections. When this movement is taken out of the routine, neurological development slows down, and the effects show up as restlessness, lack of focus, frustration with learning, and low motivation. If you've ever seen a child who seems present in body but absent in mind, the problem may lie precisely in the lack of daily movement. But why exactly does movement have such a strong impact on the developing brain? The answer lies in neuroscience. And the good news is, it's simpler than you think. The child's brain is in constant transformation, a process known as brain plasticity, and physical movement is one of the main stimuli that activates this plasticity. When a child moves, they release key substances such as BDNF, known as fertilizer for the brain, along with dopamine and serotonin, which regulate mood, attention, and motivation. Additionally, coordinated motor activities require focus, quick decision-making, and emotional control. In other words, while the body exercises, the brain is also being trained. It's as if every step, jump, or run is shaping new neural pathways, preparing the mind to learn more and better. The brain strengthens through movement, and this is a truth that needs to be urgently taught. Science has already shown that regular physical exercise has a direct impact on academic performance. In a series of studies conducted in schools in different countries, students who engaged in moderate physical activity for at least 20 minutes daily showed noticeable improvements in areas like reading, math, and writing. And it's not just that. There was also a reduction in disruptive behaviors, increased social interaction, and even improved self-esteem. Why does this happen? Because exercise improves blood circulation in the brain, regulates stress hormones, and aids in memory consolidation. Imagine 2 classrooms, one where students sit for hours, struggling against boredom, and another where there are regular breaks for stretching, motor games, or light walks. Which one do you think will generate more attentive, engaged children with better retention? The answer is clear, and the data confirms it. You might be thinking, okay, but does this really work in practice? The answer is a resounding yes. In various schools around the world, principals and teachers have implemented small changes with great results. In a primary school in Finland, for example, students take movement breaks every 45 minutes, with quick games and outdoor activities. The result? Increased engagement and improvements in math and reading scores. In a school in the United States, teachers created movement stations with physical challenges between classes and observed a drastic decrease in discipline problems. At home, parents have used games like the brain circuit, where the child performs physical tasks followed by cognitive challenges like spelling words or solving simple math problems. What these stories show is that you don't need a revolution to get started. Small adjustments make all the difference. Now comes the most important part. How can you apply all of this in your routine, whether as a parent, teacher, or caregiver? Here are some simple, practical, and highly effective strategies. At home, try starting the day with a 5-minute dance to the child's favorite song. Another powerful idea is to take a short walk before homework. The simple act of walking activates brain areas related to concentration and information retention. Games like jump rope, hopscotch, kids yoga, and improvised obstacle courses are also excellent. In school, teachers can incorporate brain breaks, short pauses between lessons for stretches, balance games, or quick motor activities. Another effective tip is to associate movement with content. For example, teach math using racing games with numerical challenges, or transform the classroom into a word board during reading lessons. The key is understanding that movement doesn't hinder learning. It is a fundamental part of it. What's at stake here is not just academic performance. It's the emotional, social, and intellectual future of our children. Growing in an active body means growing with a brain better prepared for the challenges of modern life. And this doesn't depend on large resources or excessive time. It depends on intention. Childhood cannot be passive. It needs ground, rhythm, coordination, and stimulation. When you understand that every movement is an investment in the child's mind, it becomes impossible to go back. And the best part? The changes start with you, right there in your home or classroom. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You now know that physical exercise is one of the most powerful and neglected resources in child development. And the best part is, you don't have to wait for public policies or institutional changes to act. You can start today. Choose one of the activities we've shown, test it with your child or student, and observe the difference. And if you enjoyed this content, leave a comment telling us how movement is already part of your routine with children, or how you plan to start. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with other parents and teachers who also want to see a more active, healthy, and intelligent childhood. The future of children starts with one step, and that step can, and should, be taken in motion.